evening and welcome to Signature Evening. Thank you for joining us. Today is an amazing Thursday evening and we are glad to share this moment with you. I am Quincy Roland and of course I'm in the studio with my co-presenter,
Christopher Lily. It is exciting. Okay, Friday is just around the corner.
Of course, the excitement is in the air. The excitement is in the air, and I'm really happy that we have made it through to the middle of the week, or we're almost the end of the week.
Yeah, we're almost there.
On today's signature evening in the highlights, we have a whole lot to talk about. First of all, the list is the rotational presidency. We have our guest in the studio join us to talk about the rotational presidency, how it's done in Nigeria, and the way it has been so far.
And we'll also be looking at Nigeria and foreign investment policy. If you are interested on how this foreign investment, the policies play out, then maybe you should stick around to get to know more on that very one on the show.
And afterwards, our guests will join us on Zoom to talk about the constitutional reform and balancing regional interests, and that will be the last conversation for tonight. Afterwards, we'll have our news and events and also regulars on the show, Political Circle. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media handles. We're always live on YouTube 247 and on SLTV Channel 265. After the break, we have our interviews to begin with.
We are local.
International communities observing
why the main market is in chaos. People
We are national.
Those in support of this motion as amended, say aye.
Aye.
We have taken the view by default.
We are international.
Israeli airstrikes.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.
Get plugged into the heartbeat of entertainment on The Hub, your ultimate show on e-vibes. From trending stories and social media drama to top charting music, must-watch movies and exciting moments from the world of arts, we've got it all. Join us for unmissable conversations with your favorite entertainment personalities, plus fun segments every week.
So I should try harder. So
okay, I don't know that one.
Outfit of the day.
Oh, I don't do that. That's some Gen Z stuff.
Oh, now you say it's a Gen Z stuff.
It's everything you love about entertainment, served fresh every week at 1 p.m. with weekend repeats just in case you missed it. The Hub's on e-vibes, where the vibes never stop. Only on Signature TV.
Welcome back. Our guest is in the studio. Quotes before the conversation. We'll have Lily take us on that.
All right, and the quote for today is presidential power rotation is a mandatory requirement for the Nigerian constitution and a necessary precondition for stability and national integration in Nigeria. Of course, we go straight to the conversation for today. Nigeria is an amalgam of about 256 ethnic nationalities, constituting 6 geopolitical zones with 3 major ethnic nationalities, namely Igbo, Hausa, Fulani, and Yoruba. Irrespective of these tribal blocks, the submission always renting the air has always been that the presidential seat should rotate among the 6 geopolitical zones. The idea of rotational presidency arose after long years of northern dominance of the presidency during both military and civilian administrations. One of the perennial problems facing the polity in Nigeria is how to foster unity in diversity, given the country's heterogeneous character and the diversity in its sociocultural and religious makeup. The amalgamation of 1914 was a political decision which has not succeeded in uniting the various ethnic nationalities. The streams of its various ethnic groupings may run into the same direction, but their waters never meet. And that definitely takes us to our conversation for today, which is rotational presidency and Queensley.
Okay, to have the conversation on rotational presidency, our guest who has joined us in the studio is Honorable Raymond Oke Ubu, who is a member representing Enugu East Rural Constituency. Good evening, Honorable. Welcome.
Good evening, Brian. Good evening.
Nice to have you.
Okay, so for the sake of the people that are just getting to know of what the rotational presidency is, could you give us a breakdown of what it really is and how it is being done in Nigeria?
Okay, thank you very much for having me again in your program.
Welcome. Thank you for joining.
It feels so great to be here.
Nice to have you.
The topic is, I can say, is a very, very sensitive topic that needs to be paid more attention to. And talking about rotational presidency, I would have wanted to establish a background before diving into trying to explain what it means and how it is done. Maybe trying to state a subjective opinion of myself, the way I view it, or maybe it can come later in the program. But let me go straight to your point, to your question, rotational presidency. It is just a process or a means created by a political class to maybe ensure equity and fairness in terms of administrating the country when it comes to the presidency. Because judging from the history of the country from our independence in 1960, the major ethnic groups that made up the country, when they talk about Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba, the struggle of who takes what, that is what politics means, is all interest, started, and every region started fighting on what to get. And they have to come together to have what I would call an unwritten agreement. How do we find a point so we can't continue quarreling over this? So that's where the rotational presidency came in. But the fact is, because it is unwritten, it has not been kept, it has not been respected up to date.
So what is really stopping it from being a written rule in the Constitution?
Well, because of, I would say, it's not necessarily that, because for me, I have a different view on it. For me, I would say that our country, as is something years of age old, should not be talking about this now. That we should pay more attention in choosing our leaders in terms of the capacity, competence, and the integrity of the person, and not necessarily where the person comes from. Okay. And this has been maybe one of the major reasons why it has not found its way into the Constitution. But judging from the society we find ourselves in, and the structure of the country we find ourselves in, currently now, sociology said that man is the product of his environment. So I have to now align myself to it, because you have seen that your belief cannot actually change the stand of the population of the country. So I align myself to it. Now it's okay. We cannot actually allow it to come into Constitution, because tomorrow we may grow beyond this level of choosing our leaders based on where they come from, but begin to pay attention on the competence. So I think this has been one of the major reasons why they have not thought it twice for it to enter into constitution. But some people have proposed for it, especially now there's serious move for constitutional review. I can remember that during the one having in Enugu last Saturday, when the House of Rep held the constitutional review, somebody proposed that it is the need to enshrine it in the constitution. And even what they had been issue in the agreement was just between North and South. It was not trickled down to the 6 geopolitical zones. So it is when it gets to the South, they can now microzone it to a particular zone. But that has also not been respected, because from 1999, we remember that it was one of the South and President Olusegun Obasanjo was elected.
the president.
And after that, it shifted to the North. And after the North, maybe there was issues because of death of Yar'Adua and Jonathan came in. And after his own body came in. Now, when it was time for it to come down to the North, South again, everybody, in all sincerity, believed maybe it was the turn of the Southeast. But because it is unwritten and it's not constitutional, and another zone picked ticket, and they went to election, and eventually Tinubu emerged. So it is not being respected. So these are things, and I also believe that one of the reasons why it has not been enshrined in the constitution is because of what the Igbos have been crying of, marginalization. The people who know how the political wide in terms of population and what it takes to become what will never allow it, because it will only give room for a region they never wanted to become.
But do you think the rotational of presidency will address the issue of marginalization and exclusion in governance?
That's what I said, that based my own opinion, I belong to the school of thought who believe that we should not concentrate who becomes our leader on where the person comes from or the reason you believe. That's my school of thought. But judging the general understanding of the populace, right? It has now become pertinent that we now pay attention to it because of the structure of the country we find ourselves. So I believe that currently now it will somehow address the issue of marginalization, because Igbos has clamored to become the leader of the country, and that opportunity has not been given to us. So I believe that if it is done now, and you know that after this person cannot be, or let this person become. So it's also a way or a means of solving the problem of marginalization and legislation going on in the country.
The opportunity is it supposed to be given, or the Igbos are supposed to grab it when they see it?
This thing is not something you grab, and it's not something that can be given.
Exactly.
But it's something that you have to make the move. Making the move automatically, I'm not going to grab it, because I think grabbing there's this connotation you when you start grabbing. So you must involve yourself in the discussion or conversation. So especially now that this constitutional review is going on, that Igbos who are interested in having this rotational presidency enshrined the constitution should now go in and then make their move, have the conversation with other regions so that they will accept. It's not even only Igbo that have been marginalized. Also, when you go to North, there are other zones who are also clamoring that they are being marginalized too. Northeast during 2022 election, we're also clamoring that I think their own turn. That's why I think we refuse to even accept them for anybody, because they said in the history of the country, the zone has never produced president. So it's not just us, but I believe it will address the issue of this marginalization and the unfairness to some particular regions and the tribes in the country.
So do you really believe that the rotational presidency gives room for national unity, or it just deepens the ethnic division that we have?
Just like what I said, in as much as everything has advantage and disadvantage, right? In as much as I do not believe actually in its entirety that it will solve this problem, but it is a way to get what we have, what we want, right? That's what I can say about this. I do not believe that it will solve this problem in its entirety. It never. But I believe that if we begin to pay attention on who becomes our leader in terms of what the person can provide on the table, it will solve this. Because what are you even crying for? If you have a good leader who have good policies that will have direct impact on the citizenry, I believe all these things will even die off. Nobody cares about where you come from again, because you're there from maybe you're also Fulani, a president, but your policies are impacting positively on every region. People will just begin to sing your praises, and nobody will remember where you come from anymore.
Now let's talk about zoning this presidency. Does it actually influence bad voting? You know, how do I mean? Especially when people are concerned that the candidate coming from this particular zone is not their choice, but based on the rotational presidency you're looking at, they just have to vote because this is their time to be voted in.
Now, the question somehow aligns to my school of thought before now.
Okay.
Right? That it is not choosing your leader based on where the person comes from.
Yeah.
That even gives room to produce bad leaders. Because now you have to vote, not because you know the person has the path to lead, but because it's your brother. It's a turn. Right? You believe it's your turn. It's your brother, that's why you have to vote for him. Right? So it is even a wrong perception to choose leaders. And that is why Nigeria cannot make headway in terms of development as we are anticipated. Expected it to be.
So can we actually say right now that Nigeria is actually having good democracy? Because it seems many people have the opinion that democracy, of course, is supposed to be for the people, by the people, and of the people. But many Nigerians are not feeling it. Now, with the constitutional review and what have you, do you think this rotational presidency should be reviewed into the constitution?
Well, I still maintain my stand. I do not see it as a necessary input to have in the constitution, right? But judging from what perception of everybody now,
popular demand
now, then it is necessary now, so that we can quell down the agitations of some regions who claim or alleging that they have been marginalized, right? So I believe that whether it is there or not, can we shift our focus from where the person comes from which religion he believes in, and we shift our focus on the personality of the person that we want to choose. That should be the focus, and that is where it comes in. That when we are on the process of constitutional review, can we pay more attention on reforming the electoral process? Can we pay more attention on getting the electoral empire, the INEC, more stronger, to build strong institutions that will not look at anybody's face in taking that decision, so that when people vote, their vote will count. So that even when you're choosing a good leader based on the capacity, you know that the person you're voting for, the vote will eventually count and then you'll be able to get the good leader. So I believe paying more attention to a rotational presidency is somehow setting us backward. That is my belief as a person. And I believe currently, though we say that the world is evolving, our democracy is evolving, but I believe a country as is 20 years old should be doing better than we are doing today. I see Nigeria as something you can say that we make one step backward and 10 steps one step forward
and 10 steps backward.
That will have here, because when you read history and see where we are coming from and find out that the generation that came before us actually enjoyed what we can call a relative good leadership, and all of those things are lost. I was being told by one of my lecturers in school that when they are in secondary school, the way they were being pampered and catered for, I did not experience that during my secondary school days. So all of them were lost, and because they started chasing shadows. They let what they're supposed to focus on, who becomes what based on where you come from. Had it been, they did not lose focus and continue to look at who is the best leader among these people who has now declared interest to lead us, and vote for the person based on the person's competence and capacity, maybe we will not be where we are now. And our democracy can be more stronger, more enjoyable than how we have it today.
So would you say that rotational presidency has somewhat affected the quality of leadership and governance that we've had in Nigeria since 1999?
100%. Okay. I can tell you, that's what I believe in, that it has done more harm to us than good. And that is the truth. 2023 elections, I can tell you, it was obvious to even a blind person, to even a day-old baby who is the perfect person to lead the country and get us to where we want to be. But some people we are campaigning. Even today, you go online, you see people, tribals and all that, promoting it because of just targeting somebody based on where the person comes from, and not because of what can he do, right? So it has done more harm to us. When people begin to cover evil because you're my brother, begin to cover evil because, hey, you come from the same zone. When people to promote evil and vices in the country because this person is my brother, they are not a supposed person. It has done more harm to us. If we can be able to have a turnaround and focus our mind on where we're supposed to be, I can tell you in all honesty, this country will become one of the best in the country, in the world.
In the world.
And people from other world will begin to fight for visas to come here. We have everything for us here. It's only how do we harness resources and make it work for the people, for us. That's it.
So what are those mechanisms that you suggest can actually bring about the smooth transition of this pattern of governance to rotational presidency?
Okay, I like I said, I've mentioned one. It is having a strong electoral institution.
Okay.
When people, as we are here now, three of us here in the studio, when we talk, we know who has the quality to do one or two things. We know the person.
Yeah.
And everybody has it. So population, 200 something million Nigerians cannot make mistake at once. Right? So when you have a strong electoral institution, to be able to control, have an election and then deliver the actual results of the winners of the election, then you can be sure that you have made 50% progress in actualizing that goal of having the country that we dream of. Number one. Then number two is focusing more on having strong economic policies. Policies that can have direct impact on the people. Right? At times Nigeria will play this type of policies that, what policies that, okay, I can say is something like you placing the cart before the horse. When you cool down and be able to have policies that have direct impact on the people, leaders who come up today, what they do is to derive their own policies, not prioritizing people's needs, but prioritizing their own needs. So you see people in governance doing something, people can be doing a lot of projects, but the masses still complain of hardship. All these things country today, right? So all these things, when you have those strong economic policies that will have direct impact on pulling a lot of people out of poverty, I can tell you, these two key things can change the face of our country in a twinkle of an eye. But the challenge is who has political will to do it. But who has political will can be solved by a neck, because the people knows who has political will. And if their votes can count, the person will emerge and will come out of this quagmire of find ourselves.
Yeah. Talking about the people, do you think Nigerians are ready for rotational presidency? And also the political parties, because regardless, some political parties will still stand against you. For example, the 2023 presidential election, regardless the party, even if the Igbos that would love Obi to be the president, some party members still would not, because their party have to produce
Exactly.
who they want. So do you think Nigeria is really ready for rotational presidency?
Well, their being ready is allowing you to be constitutional. Parties can have all these choices because it's not constitutional.
Yeah.
And they have the choice to bring candidate from wherever they wish to.
Yeah.
But even parties somehow is even accepting it more these days, because what was the issue in PDP 2022 running up to 2023 election? Because the party some of the party members from the southeast believe it is their turn, right?
Yeah.
In fact, it was sharply between the north and south. The southern PDP members believe it was the turn of the south to produce. Then the northerners said no, it is open for everybody, right? And then at the end of the day, the northern emerged, and the key stakeholders of the party in the south have to now abandon the candidates and started supporting whoever they choose to support. So I think party is even buying it more. But what I'm saying is this, that for me it is just a product of the early elites, right? That if it's not, for me it's immaterial from where you came from. That's my standpoint on it. It's immaterial to now focus who becomes a leader because it's your brother. For me, let us become more civilized that who becomes what should be able to determine based on what the person can offer on the table. And not because he's a Christian, not because he's from Igbo, not because from Yoruba Hausa. Let us question you based on who you are, and choose you because of who you are, not because of where you come from.
Okay, so looking at the performance of a particular candidate from whichever zone it emerges from, if this candidate or the person in governance does badly, do you think that the power should still go back to that particular zone?
That's what I'm saying. When you look down on where the person comes from, maybe I'm from Enugu and I've been elected and I performed so
and you did badly.
So badly. And
somebody else is coming from Enugu.
And you're from Enugu too.
And but you have good records.
You have good records. So, and people want to punish you because of my own actions.
Yeah.
It's injustice. Right? Okay. So it's not even it's not encouraging in any way. So let us do away with where you come from and begin to discuss individuals, their personal capacities and competence and what they can offer. Through that, we can solve a range of problems that we have.
Yeah, but you have already stated your stand on this, that you really don't care about the rotational presidency as long as the individual is the right one, right? Yeah. But then again, you also mentioned that it's becoming a popular demand, and maybe because since the government is serving the people, they should give the people what they want. Yes. We're looking at what is right. In this case, what would you say is right?
Okay, in my own opinion, I would say that looking down on the national presidency and focusing more on individual capacities is the right thing. But based on public demand, based on major population, it is democracy. You say in democracy that majority have their say, but majority have their way. Right? I found myself to be in the minority part in this opinion now, this course. Because I've engaged a lot of people.
Okay.
Everybody just wants, let it get to every zone. Forgetting that it might get to a zone and will never benefit anything. So it is, for me, it is the right thing to do by phasing away rotation and focusing more on candidates. So we'll be able to choose good leaders irrespective of where the person comes from. But in public interest, it is right now so that you give people what they want, right? In the interest of the public. Let us now buy it. Maybe the world is evolving. Tomorrow we can know better and then choose a better option. That I believe that I stand on now, which is let us focus on the candidate, on the persons that we want to give our mantle of leadership, and not based on where you come from.
Okay, right. So just before we round off, is it possible to also reconcile the principles of fairness in a democratic structure and competence as well, even when we have a one political system without relying on rotation?
Yes.
All these qualities.
Yes, fairness. When you talk about individuals now, what fairness is like giving every individual opportunity to. It is even injustice, because you doing rotational has prevented, when it's constitutional now, you will now have to prevent a particular somebody who wants to run for an office from even running. Are you not doing justice to the person who the law has now prevented, even though he has everything it takes to contest? So it is even the law of fairness that we don't have in the constitution, and every individual have freedom to contest whenever he wishes to contest. So you have maintained individual fairness and equity based on the citizens, based on the person. Right? For instance, you want to contest now and you're from the south, right? And so the law states it is the turn of the north. But you know you're ever ready to contest right now. You've been prevented by the constitution to vie for the office that you so chose to vie at the time you wanted to do it. So is it not injustice to you? Is it not unfair to you as a citizen that you don't have freedom to exercise your right when you want to exercise it? So it is even injustice that you have to have in the constitution, thereby trying to constrict the decisions and conscience of citizens to one particular zone at a time.
Okay.
All right. So, Honorable Raymond, as you can see on the news, of course, in the news, different parties have been affected with the whole defections rotating within them. We have the likes of APC, PDP leaving for APC, and the Labour Party leaving for PDP or APC and the likes. Of course, the election is around the corner, and you as a representative of the Enugu East rural constituency, what is your stand?
Well, I was elected on the platform of the Labour Party, and since 2023, I've been with the Labour Party till date, irrespective of what is going on. That's what I talk about. When you go into leadership, what's your intent? Right? Is it to amass wealth? Is it for yourself? Do you put public interest first before your personal interests? Right? The people who labored and gave you their mandate because of where you are, have they now changed your mind, their mind, or you just chose to do it because you think you have the powers now? So when you consider all those things, then you put integrity before whatever follows it. That takes solution. For me, I do not believe in party defection, and I do not believe in creating crisis because you're in opposition. Right? You can. For me, I believe that you can be in your party and support even a party that you don't belong to.
Yeah, right? Many people, right, that join Labour Party because of Peter Obi. We have to be factual. Many people, because of the popularity, the party gained. 100%. Now, if somebody like Peter Obi leaves Labour Party today, are you still going to stay in Labour Party, or you're going to leave along with him because your loyalty may lie with him?
Well, he's my leader. I'd say it day and night. Peter Obi is my leader. He has become a political ideology that you have to study him and follow him. For me, I believe in his leadership qualities. Right? I believe in his ideologies as a politician, and that's what I want to imbibe. So if tomorrow he says, oh, my followers, we are going to another way, they have no choice, because why are you saying that? If for instance, you're serving a priest, and the priest said that he's posted to another parish, will you say we're not joining the priest to the parish he's going? You join him to the priest.
So you joined the party because of Peter Obi, or you joined the party for your personal interest, for the interest of the people?
Peter Obi is the conscience of Labour Party for me.
Okay.
For me, I wasn't a member of Labour Party. I have to be sincere and frank speaking. I wasn't a member of Labour Party before he joined.
It was after.
It was through obedient movement that all of us got involved with the Labour Party, and then said, okay, we give it a shot by purchasing form and then running for election, and then we won. And so, and everything, when we were campaigning, our campaign was based on his political ideology, based on his fact record, what he's done as a governor in Anambra. And we were able to convince people that we are going to be like this man. You're looking for, and people say, oh, let us try this person. Maybe he can be like an example of a replica of people being our own region or zone. And then they supported you. And so for me, he's the person I'm watching, his footsteps.
Okay.
So that's why we remain here with him in the party with him. Until he said, oh, please, we're tired here. We are my followers. We are his followers.
Okay.
Right? Yes, so
okay, Honorable Raymond, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your input. Our conversation was on rotational presidency. Our guest, Honorable Raymond Ugu, who is a member representing Enugu East Rural Constituency. Thank you once again.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, so after this time out, we'll have a next conversation for tonight. To stay with us.
We are local.
Why the main market is in chaos. People are...
We are national.
Those in support of this motion as amended, say aye.
Aye. We have taken the vote by default.
We are international.
Israeli airstrikes.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment